Hello and welcome, I'm Arumba. Thank you for joining me. This is Arumba's Adjustments for Stellaris number 2. Let's go ahead and dive right in. Adjustment number 1, there is an alert that doesn't tell you very much. Construction complete. Havo has finished its surface construction queue. It'd be really useful to know like what it completed so that you don't have to actually like click to go to Havo, click on it, click on the planet, look around and see, oh, right, I built that one thing. It should say it has completed its queue and then tell you what the queue was. Whether it's 1 building or 10 buildings, I think it should just all be listed in there and just say, hey, these are the things that it's done. The queue is complete. That's adjustment number 1. Adjustment number 2. This may be personal preference, and I would be perfectly happy if there was an option in some sort of an options menu. If, I don't know, maybe we had an options menu, that'd be great. But I personally would prefer if left-clicking selects something on the outliner, right-clicking, I think, should always go to where it is, center the location on it, but on the galaxy map view. This is a galaxy game. We play on a galaxy level, not on a system level. The problem is that when you right-click on a science ship, it takes you into the system. And then it's, oh, this is useful, but I need to know where is this science ship relative to the rest of the galaxy. Or if I right-click on a construction ship, same thing. So what I'm finding myself constantly doing is I right-click E to zoom out, and then I've got to zoom way out to figure out, okay, I'm like right here. What I would prefer is if I'm zoomed out like this and I right-click on a science ship, it should just say, bam, and like move me to there so that I can see that's where the science ship is. It should stay at the same default, like how far zoomed out I am right now. So if I want to be like zoomed in like this and I right-click, it'll take me there, it'll snap me to the location. And then if I want to zoom in, I can then press the E key to see it on a system level. But again, this is a galaxy-based game. Stop forcing us into the system view. Let's like focus on the galaxy view. That's adjustment number 2. Adjustment number 3, and this is probably more of a bug than anything else, but right now, ethics divergence is tied to this reassembled ship shelter. But there's this really easy exploit that you can use where you just don't work that tile. just stop doing that, and then you go 1 month, right? Wait until the next month. Notice our ethics divergence is at 2.13. Now that we're not working the reassembled shipyard, it's gone. There goes the penalty. In fact, did you know you could even just demolish the building outright, and everything's fine? The colony stays the same. And once you get to 5 population, you can still build the planetary center wherever you want. So it's kind of exploity, but probably should be looked into. Something to consider. Adjustment number 4. This is about control groups. So let's say you have a transport fleet and you've bound them to a control group and they are in orbit of a planet, whether you're on offense or defense or whatever it may be. If you land your armies, and then they leave their ships and they pop on down, what will happen is as soon as they get to the ground, the control group just kind of goes away. It just ceases to exist. And annoyingly, when you then go to the armies thing and you say embark again, they instantaneously embark, but you've got to re-control group one more time. Why you lose the control group is beyond me, but that would be something I would love to see changed. Adjustment number 5. This is something that I don't know if everyone else will agree with me on, but I personally think that from a macro perspective would make things a whole lot simpler, is if, let's say that I have no colony ships available, right? None of them are built, but I have enough minerals available that I could build one. I would like it if I could either click on a tile and then say build, and then like it would pull up a dialogue saying which pop do you want to build with, and then it would queue up that colony ship at whichever location that pop is available, build it, and then automatically have the colony ship come and colonize this specific tile. Also, same thing, if I could do it from here, I could say, this is what happens when you have colony ships available. Like, I would like this screen, even if I don't have the colony ships available, so that I could just say, yeah, colonize this, colonize this, colonize this. Because what it'll do is it'll break apart the process of colonization from a 2, 3, maybe 4 stage process down to 1. You find a planet that's colonizable, You find it and you just say, okay, yep, that's the spot that I want to do it. Click. Done. And then you don't have to think about it anymore. You don't have to go build the colony ship, go find the planet again, go pick the right tile again, make sure that you're colonizing with the right pop. It's just all automated and all done in one easy step. I personally feel like that would be a great change to the game. Adjustment number 6. Did you know that you can change your government type? Did you know that there are upgradable versions of the government types that you can unlock after a certain research technology? That's useful to know. You have to click right here. You can just change it to whatever you want. It costs you points, but more importantly, I feel like there should be an alert that says you can upgrade your government type. So specifically, if you are a moral democracy, for example, and there's a better version of that because you've unlocked it through tech, there should be a pop-up saying, hey, it's time to upgrade your government type. But there isn't. There's no alert to tell you that you should upgrade it. It's just better in every way. It does cost some points, but it's usually like double the bonuses of a regular government type. And there's no alert for it. Adjustment number 7, and this may be a minor complaint here, but I would really like it if it was possible for the policies for research focus to be in the same order that they are on the research screen. Notice how it goes engineering, physics, society, and then you go to the research screen, and it's physics, society, engineering. What? Like, what? Why don't we put them in the same order in both places, one way or the other? I don't care which way, just pick one. Either engineering, then physics, then society, engineering, then physics, then society, or physics, then society, then engineering, in which case it should be physics, and then science, and then science, society, and then engineering. Like organize them in the same order. Or alternatively, and preferably, personally, would be to make the button be like here, like put a button like right there that says like enact policy. And that same button would be toggleable here or here. I think that would be superb, because sometimes I just want a little bit of society research, and I don't want to have to go through this big huge list, because this does end up getting quite long. The further on you get into the game, the more edicts you get available. But like just the fact that they're out of order, and that it's not available from this screen, which would be the screen that would make the most sense, kind of frustrates me a little bit. So that would be an adjustment that I would consider making. Adjustment number 8 is a minor one, but I think a valid one. The governor type, we have a governor type called, he's got a trait called agrarian upbringing, hydroponics farm, build cost minus 20%. So let's like wait 10 days, let him get moved over here. And then when we look at this and we go to build, and this is like on a colony that's before it's built its planetary assembly thing, and the only thing that we have access to are the basic hydroponic farms. The basic hydroponic farm is the unupgraded version of a farm, and yet we don't get a discount because of this governor, even though it's a hydroponic farm. It's a farm. The farm discount should apply to this one too, the basic or the regular one, but it doesn't. Now in this case, I am getting a discount, but that's actually for a different reason entirely. That's because I've got the architectural sense ruler trait from Prime Minister Zeraxim. But that modifier should apply to basics as well as to regular ones, in my opinion. Also, to lump this in with another change that I'd like to see, I dislike the fact that basic farms, like, you should be able to upgrade the farm okay, so if I build the 30 mineral one and then I upgrade my colony, then the cost to upgrade the basic to the regular should just be the difference between the two. It shouldn't be that all of a sudden you got to pay full price. It should just be that, okay, we've got a basic one, we're going to do a little bit more work, and we're going to make it a full-size one. Because you run into this weird situation where you don't want to build this, or this, but you're perfectly fine building a science lab, because for some reason the basic science lab is the exact same one as what you can build after it's up to 5 population, but it's not the same thing as these 3. So you basically, you only want to build these, and you don't want to build any of these, because you end up wasting resources. Where really what it should be is that you should want to build these, because the more you build, the faster the colony will grow, but you're kind of disincentivized against doing it because the extra cost doesn't get recuperated when you upgrade. So that would be an adjustment that I would consider making. Adjustment number 9 would be that there's something really funky going on with upgrade costs right now. and I think it's more of a bug, but it's still an adjustment that I'd make, you know, like, hey, make the game work as expected. So I've got this test ship, right? It's a Corvette test ship class, and this is what it looks like. It's just got a couple small mass drivers. It's got these things here. What happens if I add something that costs, say, I don't know, 5 extra minerals? We're going to take the cost from 62 to 67. We're going to save it, and then that's that. Now we're going to tell the ship, first off, we're going to go through and we're going to delete all other Corvettes so that we know for sure that it's trying to only upgrade to the upgraded version of that Corvette. Colony Science Transport. Okay, so we only have one Corvette, the test ship. We're going to tell it to upgrade, and it's 8.75. So hold on. You're telling me if I add 5 mineral costs to the base price of my ship, I have to pay 8.75 to actually upgrade my existing ships to the new class ship. What? Where the hell did the 8.75 come from? That's like, it's just wrong. It should be 5. It should be, we just add the reactor. Just one reactor, 5. It should be 5. If anything, you could even make the argument that upgrading ships should potentially be cheaper than building brand new ships because you're retrofitting. But under just no circumstance whatsoever can I see upgrading a ship being more expensive than the component costs in a new ship. It doesn't make sense, and I don't know, it's just something weird is going on there, and I'd love to see an adjustment made. Adjustment number 10. So ships have this thing called survey range, right, or scan range. They can see things that are around them, and there are 3 classifications to intelligence, right? I, fleet movement within sensor range is known. Medium, planet types in system are known. Low, number of planets in system is known. So if you have low intelligence, we can see the number of planets, right? We can just tell how many planets are there. And what you basically end up needing to do is you need to send your ships through every single system to get an idea of what's in the system and whether or not it's colonizable. There's this weird thing where if you have 2 systems that are close by, or your sensor range becomes large enough that it's within range, notice how we have high intelligence level here. I have high intelligence, yet I don't know anything about the system. Like, you would assume, because they're within range, be able to tell if there are colonizable planets here. I know that there aren't because I can see this far around me. And in fact, if we move our Navy here, well, first off, let's go here, and then you're going to see this is going to drop back down to low because our Navy is going to be outside of sensor range. Speed up the game a little bit. Drops it back down to low. Then if I enter the system, I can guarantee there's not going to be any colonizable planets here of any kind because we had high survey status, high intel level. We had it, but then we lost it when we moved forward. And so the adjustment that I would make is that if a system is ever within sensor range, that should count as if the system had been visited before. Because how couldn't it have been? It was within sensor range. That's the whole point of sensor range, isn't it? Like, knowing what's in the system, knowing if it's colonizable, being able to tell how many planets there are. I shouldn't have to manually traverse my Navy through every single point in space just to be able to know where things are. Like, I should be able to tell what's there just by using sensor range as well. So that would be an adjustment that I would consider making. Adjustment number 11 is kind of related to the last one. There needs to be some sort of a map mode or just some more clear indicator about which systems we've been to and which systems we haven't been to. The fact that this area is colorized kind of gives me a clue that I've been here before. But like, I haven't been to this system. I don't know anything about whether or not it's colonizable. I have been here. I have been here. I haven't been here. So what I end up finding myself doing is just mousing over to see, have I been here before? Nope. Okay, I've got to go there. And then I'm manually queuing up to like make sure that I'm checking for colonizable systems and just checking stuff out. There needs to be an easier way to see, did I miss that system? Did I just accidentally never send anybody there and I just don't even know if it's colonizable or if there are planets there or whatever? Like, I used to think maybe it was like, oh hey, I can see what color star it is. That means that I've been there before. But nope, this one's unknown. This one here is low. It's brightly colored, so nope, it's known. I don't know what that little like eye indicator means. It's like something completely unrelated to it, but there's just no way of knowing which systems you've been to without hovering over every single system, which gets very tedious. So we either need a map mode or some clear visual indicator that says you have not ever surveyed this system or had intelligence on this system, period, ever. And it kind of goes hand in hand with the previous adjustment, but yeah, I would love to have that. So that would be an adjustment I'd love to see. Adjustment number 12. This is an interesting thing where I found sometimes what I'll do is I'll like find a whole bunch of anomalies at the beginning of the game, and I'll decide that I don't want to do them yet. I want to wait till I get a little bit more experience so that I have a better chance of succeeding and not failing. And then I'll queue up a whole bunch of like anomaly tasks, right? I'll have a scientist go do 2 or 3 anomalies, and then a new anomaly will pop up in a system, and I'll find that my scientist is not as good, and the better scientist, I'll check the interface to see which scientist is better, and I'll say, okay, no, that one's better, he should do it. And what the game will do is it will have the scientist immediately drop what he was doing, put that new anomaly at the front of the queue, and have the scientist go and just immediately go work on the new one. And it actually will show, if you hover over his actions, like what he's doing, it'll show that like the previous anomaly that he was working on is at like 55% progress. And he's going off to work on the new one. But then when he finishes the anomaly and he goes back to the original anomaly, he starts back over again at 0%, which is weird. So the adjustment, what it should be is that when you queue up a new anomaly, it shouldn't pause their anomaly. They should just finish the one that they're working on and then do the next one. It should add it to the end of the queue, not the beginning of the queue in this case, because you end up, it confuses them and they move around a lot and they waste research time. They waste time being spent on anomalies that they should. And at the very least, if they're going to keep doing it the way that they're doing it, don't make us start back over again at 0%. Allow it to maintain that percentage of completion that they had done on the anomaly before they abandoned it to go work on something else. It's not like they forgot what they were doing, right? They still have their charts and data and stuff. So that would be something to consider changing. Adjustment number 13. This is an interface thing for sure, and it's probably just an interface bug, if anything. I'm looking at a planet that I can colonize. I have the technology to colonize it. I have researched many tile blocking research things, and yet they still all show as red. For example, if I go to my science, so we're looking for dense jungle, noxious swamp, mountains. Let's go see. Research, society. So I've unlocked dangerous wildlife, volcanoes, dense jungle. I've unlocked... what else? At the very least, you can see right there we had dense jungle. So dense jungle is something that I'm allowed to do. And yet when I look at this planet, dense jungle shows up as red, as if it cannot be removed. In my mind, it should be yellow here before you colonize it, so that I know that if I colonize this planet, yes, there's some blockers, but some of it can be removed already. But right now, it doesn't show that. Adjustment number 14. Let's say you have a fleet and you are upgrading it. And first off, this is again beside the point that we're paying more than we're supposed to for upgrades. But let's say that we begin upgrading. I'm upgrading 3 ships, right? And I'm at 35%. If I cancel the task, I personally feel like at least one of these 3 ships should have been completed. It's not like they're doing it. They're doing the upgrades one by one. They're not doing them all at the exact same time. And here's something as kind of an exploit that you can use to get around this bug. But like, notice what happens. If I cancel this job, all 3 of them, I'm going to get refunded my minerals, but they stop being upgraded. There's my minerals back. And none of them are upgraded. But watch this. If I do the same thing again, and I get to 33%, okay, 35%, so at least one of them could be upgraded, right? Watch this. If I split the fleet, now we're 70% upgraded. I take this fleet, right? I'm clicking in the wrong spot. And I click on it, and I split this fleet. Now we're 140% upgraded. So that ship is upgraded.
Construction complete.
So you can force the game to upgrade percentages of your navy by using the split the split fleet function. But what I would prefer is just that if you're upgrading and you're 47% complete, and then you have some emergency military, you have to pull your military off, and then whenever you decide to stop upgrading, whatever percentage you're at is the percentage of the ships that should become upgraded. So you don't have to do this tedious split fleet, unsplit fleet, split fleet, recombined fleet nonsense. It's silly that they're upgrading the ships in serial, not in parallel. It's not all at once, it's one by one. They're going through the production lines, getting upgraded. So that would be an adjustment that I would consider making. Adjustment number 15, a minor one, but something that bugs the crap out of me, is that civilian ships in the outliner, they should be organized by type, not by the order that they were built. It should be construction ships, then science ships, then colony ships. It should not be construction ship, science ship, construction ship, science ship, colony ship, science ship, construction ship. It's just, why are they in a different order? It's obnoxious. I want to see them all in one order, or even segregated into different things. It could even just be, break down the outliner even smaller, like give me more options, give me more control. Say instead of just civilian ships, say construction ships, say science ships, say colony ships, like, and then I can just minimize them when I don't want to see them. But like, at the very least, if you're going to keep them all categorized as civilian, organize them by type, please. Please, please, please. Adjustment number 16. I think this may be a bug, but I have a sector. This sector is a singular planet. It has 8 people inside it. It collects, let's turn off the taxes for a moment so we can see exactly what it's getting. Unpause the game for a moment. We should be able to see that it is producing in its one planet 2 energy here. It is got a reassembled ship shelter and a frontier clinic. So it's earning 2, spending 1. So it has a positive net summary of +1 energy. It's got a happiness bonus, so it's getting a little bit of that stuff going on for it. But it's also got 2 minerals here, and it's also got 6 physics research. And then you go and you look at the sector. What's going on with these minerals? Like, are these going to the sector? Are they going directly to me? I can't really tell. It's yellow instead of green or white. Like, I don't actually maybe really understand. Maybe this is going directly to me already, but the way it reads, the way I'm seeing it, if it's in the sector, I would expect to see it here. I would expect to see that they're getting 6 physics research, and they're passing all of it to me. They are getting 2 minerals research from this thing, and they should be paying for the mineral outpost as well. And then they are passing whatever percentage I tax them at. Like, all of the outposts that they have, they should have control of. It's their sector. They're controlling it, not me. But there's just something weird going on with that. And I noticed it, where I noticed this, and it really bugged me, is that I had a, what's it called? A observation outpost for some primitives, and I ended up giving that planet to a sector because I needed to, because I was over my planet limit. And then I noticed that even though I had spent 50 minerals to build this observation outpost, then I was getting 0 societal points from that sector. Like, they weren't getting the bonus, and I wasn't getting the bonus, and I just spent 50 minerals for no reason whatsoever. So I'm not sure if it's a bug, or if it's working as intended, or what's going on there, but there's something really weird going on, and I would like to see it adjusted somehow. I mean, that's all I have to say about that, I guess. Adjustment number 17. I would really prefer if, in light of the fact that I think that ships should upgrade in serial instead of in parallel, they shouldn't all try to upgrade at the exact same time, that when you commit an order to upgrade a fleet, it should just start upgrading as many as it can with the minerals that you have on hand. If you don't have enough minerals on hand to upgrade the whole fleet, it should just still be trying to upgrade one at a time and just start upgrading them. Like, why? Like, if I have 30 ships and I need 500 minerals to upgrade them, then waiting for 500 minerals might take a while. But sometimes, like, instead of making it so that I have to split the fleet in half, like, a couple times to get it down to a manageable size and then click the button, how about I just be able to click this button whenever the hell I want, and then it upgrades as many as it can. And then that's that. And maybe only 75% of the ships actually got upgraded because that's the amount of money that I had available for it at the time. And then they upgrade in parallel as they go. And then when the task is complete, it'll say, hey, the job was done, 76% of them were upgraded. And then the next time I click the button, maybe I'll have enough minerals to upgrade the rest of them. But having to do the split fleet and trying to get down to the right amount so that I have enough that I can do it on hand, it's just tedious. I don't like it. It should be different, I think. Adjustment number 18. Let's say that it's time for you to merge your sectors because your space has started to become kind of combined and you want to have one larger sector instead of two sectors. A minor annoyance to me is that I have two sectors here. I've got the Yulkur sector and the Rexus sector. If I were to adjust this sector and give it Rexus, Rexus would cease to exist. Now normally, you'd pay a penalty if you tried to just remove Rexus. But if you combine them, then there is no penalty. But what ends up happening is that the minerals that he has stored, the 13 and the 88, watch what happens. I'm going to say manage sector, 207 and 73. I'm going to give him this system. Rexus no longer exists. I'm done. They're gone. They're just gone. Where'd they go? They disappeared. I don't understand why. They should have been combined in with the Yulkur sector, just like the planet was combined in with the Yulkur sector. Like, whatever resources were there should have just joined that sector. Also, another kind of equivalent minor complaint is that when you're managing sectors, you notice how it says remove system 25? And there's this finish button, return to regular map mode. This leads you to believe that, like, if I click this button, that I'm not actually finalizing any changes until I click the finish button. But watch my influence. If I click this button, you're spending the influence right now. Like, right this second. This finish button means nothing. You are not, like, toying with the sectors and, like, getting an idea of what you want to do before you finalize. No. This finish button should say exit or something. It shouldn't say finish. It's very misleading. It's very easy to accidentally spend a lot of influence very quickly because this interface is confusing. Adjustment 19. All right, so I think personally on the F3 tab, which is the Empires tab, we should have something else here. There should be another tab here, and this should be called, I don't know, habitability or colonization or something. And what it should show is a list of all planets that we are aware of in a filterable, sortable table format that are organized by things like habitability, whether or not it's colonizable by us, meaning we have the tech for it. So that would be useful. Any kind of planetary modifiers that are on it, like, you know, physics modifiers or earthquakes or whatever. How large is the planet? If there are blockers, how many blockers there are. Maybe not the type of blocker, I don't think that's necessary, but like, I would love to be able to say, okay, I'm looking at this planet, it's size 24, there are 7 blockers. I've also got a size 15 planet with 0 blockers. Interesting. It'd also be useful if we could also see the resources on the planet, like X minerals, X energy, X physics, X society research, all that stuff. Like, why is it? Because what ends up happening is that whenever I decide to go colonize, I look through and I say, okay, here's a planet. Yep, ocean world, find it. Okay, yep, zoom in. Gotta go here. Size 9. Oh, yep, there's a modifier. Okay, keep that in my internal RAM here, my memory. Okay, these are the resources. Yep, I can see all of this information. Although this resources thing is inaccurate because there's plenty more resources here than that. And then I have to go to the next planet, right? And then I have to, okay, zoom in, yeah, okay. Oh, this one's also size 9. No planetary modifier, also 60%. Okay, that's fine. Oh, yep, there's another one up here. Okay, zoom in, click. Oh, wow, this one's much bigger. Size 24. This one's good, but look at all these tile blockers. And then every single time you want to colonize, you've got to go through and do this manual, tedious process of determining which planet is the next most suitable planet. And this is where having a tab that would organize the information for you would make the game so much more enjoyable and so much more logical when it comes to what is available to you, instead of just having this mess of information everywhere. Adjustment number 20. Swapping scientists should swap scientists. That's literally like the purpose of swapping scientists. It shouldn't just cancel one and make it so you have to reappoint the other. So for example, let's say I'm looking here, I see that I've got Wegutrim, who is good at industry expertise, and I'm researching something down here it's industry. So I want to swap him. I'm going to go find him and say that, okay, I want this guy to be in charge. I'm swapping. Are you sure you wish to reassign this leader? Yeah, I'm swapping him. So since I moved him from here to here, this guy should automatically go there. Like, save me the step of having to go find the available character. I obviously want to swap them around a little bit, but I shouldn't have to manually assign every single time. It should just be a very clear swap. It would make a whole lot more sense that way. That's adjustment number 20. Adjustment number 21, and the final adjustment for this episode of Arumba's Stellaris adjustments. So when you make a trade in the trade interface, right, we've got this agreement that he should offer, he should accept. We go ahead and we send the trade offer. We wait. We should see a little pop-up here in a moment that's going to say, trade deal. Trade deal, trade deal. Speed up the game, trade deal. Trade deal. Trade deal, offer trade deal, diplomatic response. Why do I have to click this? Why doesn't it just say, trade deal accepted, or trade deal declined? Like, this is completely unnecessary. It's so irritating to know that, like having to click it every single time just to find out if they accept it or not is so tedious, because I like to trade a lot. And I would just much prefer if the alert said, trade deal was accepted, trade deal was declined. Like, I don't care what the reasons were. I just need to know, was it accepted or not? And having to click that button to find out is really irritating. So that is the final adjustment. I know I'm tedious with some of these things, but I'm trying to make the game, in my opinion, more streamlined, more fun, less tedious. Like, I don't want the game to be Dwarf Fortress, for crying out loud, where you have to know every little in and out of every little stupid little button click just to be able to play the game. Like, it should be as approachable as possible with as few interface frustrations as there can possibly be. And so I get pretty passionate about this. You can probably hear it in my voice when I get annoyed with things, but hey, this is who I am. I'm just giving you my opinion. If you don't want to hear it, then I don't know why you're watching this video. So that's what I would say should be adjusted in my second episode, and who knows, maybe there'll be a third. I'll start making a new list as soon as I start playing the game again. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your support, and I look forward to seeing some changes in the next patch. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you soon.